Emmanuel, God is with us. Emmanuel, God is with us. We're going to make our roux in the pot that we boiled the noodles in. Fourth a cup of whole wheat flour. It's probably a little bit less than that. And you just stir your roux around in your butter. Yep, that's how you do it. So I'm adding another tablespoon of butter because I want to kind of brown my flour. I use whole grain flour. Okay. So there we go. We're good now. Yeah, there it is. And this is the water from when I made the pasta. It had 3 cups of water, and I am adding that to my roux. Yeah. Okay, and you see how that steamed through the roux, and it's not getting chunky because this water is hot. So this is 1 pot of macaroni and cheese. There's other ways of doing 1 pot. Okay. So you see we've used almost a cup of water. In fact, we have used a cup of water. This is my creamer normally. The plot thickens. Yeah. That's going nicely. And you guys, this is a cup of buttermilk. Normally you would use heavy cream. But as you may or may not know, we are on quarantine when I am making this macaroni and cheese because this recipe will be up forever and this will be a historical fact. But I got buttermilk. It'll be just fine. So I just substituted 1 cup of heavy cream with 1 cup of buttermilk. And you let that just continue to bake up. Now I'm adding a cup of milk. And 2 cups of water. I would normally use 3 cups of milk. This is my pasta water, but I like milk for other purposes, and since we aren't allowed to get out that much now, I don't want to use a whole 3 cups of milk because I may not be able to get back to the store, and if I get to the store, I can't guarantee they're going to have milk right now, so I just added 2 cups of water instead of milk. So there it is, guys. So it would be just milk and cream and butter and flour. But this is my quarantine substitution macaroni and cheese. Another substitution, normally I would use a cup of macaroni and cheese, but I have a cup of blue cheese in my freezer, so I'm using a cup of blue cheese. Okay? Just stir this blue cheese into your recipe. Just like so. And we are making our cheese sauce. Now I'm going to add the yellow cheese and 3 cups of sharp cheddar cheese. Put 2 of the cups of cheese in here and just stir it around. Stir your cheese sauce around. Make sure, turn up the fire a little bit because you want to make sure this cheese melts You don't want any problems with that. Oh. In there. Oh, looks like some turned into a little block there. Okay. Okay, it's unblocking. And then put your salt and pepper to taste. So about whatever amount of salt and pepper you like, you put that in there to taste. Color's a little off on my video, but the sauce is a nice buttery yellow macaroni and cheese color, so it's all ready to go. You see my little bits of black pepper in there. You could just pour this over your noodles and have stovetop macaroni and cheese, but this is Easter, so I'm gonna bake it. So you take your sauce here that we made with butter, and you just ladle that onto your noodles. Don't worry, your kids will eat it. And you see the bits of rosemary. I boiled my noodles in rosemary. You probably saw that in the sauce pot while I was demonstrating. Well, these are the fried onions. I'm just going to top them with that. And I'll be back when I'm finished because this is going to take a while. And there it is, topped with fried onions instead of breadcrumbs. And I'm going to stick it in the oven. So there it is, 355. It's in the oven. Close up. And I left room because I got to cook my ham. This is my quarantine Easter ham. I went and got the ham and I just ground up some cloves there, because I love the taste of cloves. I think I want more than that though. So I'll grind. If you're wondering, I bought a pound of cloves from Monterey Bay, and at the time I thought I was being excessive, but I eat cloves in tea every day. And thankfully during this whole quarantine thing, I've got plenty, and I've got them for my Easter. So this is my cloves. I use this old Krups, little cheap grinder. You can grind coffee or spices. I'm grinding spices. This is just a cheap Krups. So I just push this little button here. And I'm listening to the sound. And I'm just listening until I don't hear any big chunks breaking anymore. And I think we're good. See, it's kind of powdery. This is a large powder. It's much more coarse than what you get at the grocery store already, but it's so good when it's okay. I have a thyme bush. So this is the woody part of it. My thyme bush is several years old, maybe 7 years old or so. And it's woody, so putting some thyme in there to combine with all the lovely juice from this ham, which I will use to make. So, you know, we like those pretty rounds of pineapple on our Easter ham, but I only got chunks this year, so chunks it is. And here is my own home ground cloves. Really nice. You see it's a little coarse in there, so I'm gonna take that and sprinkle it all over this ham. Sometimes I forget what part to videotape, like I'm getting it out of here, so I should be videotaping me getting it out, but instead I'm just sitting up showing you my beautiful ham. She's covered, and if you think about it, normally you would stick the little parts of clove into the ham, and you use probably at least as much as I use. And I'm just putting some pineapple in there to season the glaze. Okay. You guys, this is where it gets real quarantine. I didn't have any honey, but I have some old packs of Kentucky Fried Chicken honey sauce. So it'll have to do. This came with a glaze, which I got just a week ago, but it got lost. So I'm figuring it must have accidentally been thrown away. So I'm going to keep on putting those little packets on there, and that will be my glaze. My honey glaze. And you guys, Gotta say thanks. Shout out to Deborah. She gave my mom a Kentucky Fried Chicken gift certificate. And we love that Kentucky Fried Chicken with some biscuits and honey. And it is helping out with Easter dinner. See that? That's bubbly macaroni and cheese. Homemade, easy peasy. Even on quarantine. Isn't that exciting? I don't know when I got something on the pan. Oh, it must have been when I was putting the cheese sauce in. Oh, looks so good. I love macaroni and cheese. Here it goes into the oven. She's ready for her close-up. That's my ham. That's my ham. That's my ham. That's my ham. Cook it until the skin is crispy and the fat has all melted into the bottom of the container and made your bread. Another easy quarantine meal. These are 2 cans of string beans. This is the size can I used, and these are French style sliced green beans, 14.5 ounces, 1 and 2. Then you slice a little onion in there, add a can of cream of mushroom. It's a traditional holiday dish. So we got that can in there, and then you add a can of water. Mix the last of your soup in there and heat this up so that it gets nice and creamy. So there we go. So just boil this until it's creamy. So you can see the mushroom soup has cooked into the string beans. And we just have one last step to this quarantine casserole. Take your sauce with your green beans in it, like so. Put it into your baking dish, ramekin, whatever you're going to use to bake your green beans. Just like that. Put your topping on and bake it until your topping gets brown. So I think that's about all I can fit in there. The topping is traditional French fried onions from Frenchies. So that's what it looks like. And we're just gonna pour those bad boys as a covering. Put them in the middle there. So here's my quarantine Easter dinner. Macaroni and cheese, a Mediterranean salad, a ham, and let me go over here and show you what else I have. These are candied sweet potatoes. Normally I would have marshmallows on there. I was not able to get marshmallows this year. And then this is my green bean casserole. So that's what I'm having for Easter. And it's time to fix my plate. I am eating by myself. So I'll fix my plate, say my grace, thank God for his bounty. And a little ham on my plate. I didn't have one of the ingredients for my green bean casserole, but I showed it to you anyway. Mom made this delicious 7-Up cake. Homemade, of course. She's shy, she doesn't like to be on camera, but wow, this is who taught me how to bake. For my pie, so my mother made me a whole grain crust. This is another quarantine recipe. I didn't have enough cherry pie filling, so I added some apples. So this is an apple cherry pie in whole wheat crust. My camera gave up yesterday. No.
Are you doing a video?
Oh, well, come on, can you do the prayer? Because you didn't do the prayer yesterday.
Okay. Father God, in the name of
In
Jesus.
the name of
We
Jesus.
just come to you right now, Lord, giving you
Thank
thanks,
you,
Lord
Jesus.
God. Even in these situations, Lord God. We thank you and we praise you, Lord, for who you are and what you have already done, Lord God. We thank you that we dwell in the secret place of the Most High and we abide under the shadow of the Almighty. We thank you, Lord. We ask for your blessings and your protection, and we believe it, Lord. Now, Lord, we ask you to bless this food that we're about to partake of. Bless it in Jesus Christ's name we pray. And Lord God, we thank you, Lord.
Thank you for
Amen,
saving our
amen,
life.
Amen.
Thank you for dying on the cross.
Oh, God.
Hallelujah.
Yes,
Happy
Lord.
Easter.
Praise God. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Glory to God.
Glory to God.
Glory to God.
Glory to God. Glory to God.